Today I'm going to be smelling Francis Meilland again and giving you my opinion about the fragrance on this one. Francis Meilland is also called Prince Jardinier in a lot of countries. But let's have a whiff of Francis Meilland. Yeah, my first impression is this rose is an 8 out of 10 on scent. You get a really good scent on this one. The first note that hits my nose is a little light citrus scent is the first thing that hits. And then a very powerful damask scent hits my nose next. And after that, yeah, I'm getting a tea fragrance at the back end. So the first thing that hits is this acidity from a citrus, and then you get this sweet damask follow after, and then you get this more bitter, more spicy green tea notes at the back end. Honestly, I think this rose would have a much better scent if it didn't have the tea note at the back end. It is kind of like the tea note muddies the water a little bit. It's kind of like the tea note doesn't harmonize as well with the citrus and the mask fragrance. Yeah, I think often the mask roses are more beautiful when they're just compared with citrus, or a pure citrus with old rose can also be scented really well. But often I think when you compare these fruity, light and sweet tones with something like tea, it often doesn't end up that well. In my opinion, it ends up better if you add myrrh to it or something like that. So the tea fragrance at the back end is kind of disturbing the image for me here. So it won't, it is not the best fragrant dominated damask rose for me. But it is a really potent scented rose at 8 out of 10. It is just a shame with a little bit of tea fragrance at the back end that kind of throws the scent a little bit off. But it is still well worth growing for scent. It is funny though, I often like tea. I actually go to tea stores and buy really good expensive tea, and I also like the fragrance of tea, but I don't really think all fragrances belong together. I think something like tea is much better with myrrh or something like these more spicy herbal notes. I think it kind of disturbs the mask fragrance a little bit because they're so far from each other. But yeah, and the blooms on Francis Meilland are absolutely massive. I think they are like 12 centimeters across here. It does take a little while to bloom. It is not the fastest bloomer, but so far it has been a decent, healthy rose for me. And but a little, I wouldn't say I'm bummed out on the fragrance because it's still a really good fragrance. It is just not my favorite damask fragrance because of the tea influence it gets at the back end. It kind of muddies the water for me, like I said, but still well worth growing.